All right, so good morning. It's another great day in Wonderland, and Wonderland is where I work. I work in a very lucky position to work on all these clunky old cars, these old, forgotten two-stroke microcars from the 50s and the 60s, and every day I feel blessed. So let's check in and just see what's going on today. How you feeling today, Mr. Lloyd? How you feeling today, Mr. Subaru 360 with only one headlight? They're in queue, they're waiting in line. The Nash here is at the forefront of the personal projects. It's getting sanded and body made to perfection. I've got a lot of work to do on the rockers yet. I think I did a video on this yesterday. In fact, I know I did. I did a video on this yesterday. So let's go in the shop and see what's going on. It's always cool. Let's see what's going on in the shop. So right away, we're greeted by a 1957 Berkeley in primer here, also awaiting some love. Maybe a new British racing green paint job would look really good on that. It's a little ways from there. It has no engine. It has no seats. That won't stop me from working on it. I'll make something good happen with this car. That one really excites me as well. But the Nash has to come first. That is such a cool car, and it's got to get parked outside. It takes up too much space in the shop, keeping dry. It takes up space of probably 3 of these little guys. So it's got to get painted. The Nash is, that is, so that it can sit outside and at least be a little weather resistant. Become a daily driver again. We've got a 1981, I think, maybe it's an 80 Freeway, HMV Freeway, also awaiting some fiberglass love and attention and an engine. We've got a DKW back in the corner there. That runs and drives and stops and licensed, but needs a windshield of all things. Can't let it sit outside without a windshield. There's a Subaru 360 back in the corner there. That does run and drive and is licensed. It's waiting for a paint job. This one is all painted. Old DKW. Drive this on a regular basis. Love this car. Let's get into what we're working on today. It just adds to the flavor of old German cars, although not as old, but certainly German. Pfaffenhugen German, you might say. This is an 81 Rabbit diesel. I've done a couple videos on it. The customer loves me. Brings it in once a year approximately for an oil change and some service. And this car has been great. One owner. So he's owned it since 1980 or 79. I can't remember. Still, that's a lot of dedication. Let's take a look at this thing. I just like listening to that awful buzzer when you open the door. That's just nasty. Now this car is a daily driver. You can tell the seat's a little blown out. It gets used. You actually wore through the seat cover, but we're not going to let that stop us from having fun. It is a one owner car. I'm sure the odometer has been rolled over multiple times. Let's see. It says 16347. I'm betting it's been rolled over 2 or 3 times. The body itself is in great shape. No dents. A little bit of rust coming through the door from the window felts, I believe, is what causes that on the inside. And what are we doing today? I'll tell you what we're doing. We're in the engine here and we're fixing something. What are we fixing? So, customer complaint of a hard brake pedal. This is a diesel car. It has a manual vacuum pump, which we're focused at right here. And there's a diaphragm between this front housing and this back housing, and that usually tears. And sure enough, would you know it, I've got the old diaphragm out already, and it is torn, as we suspected. I don't think this is the original one, but I popped in a new one already. It's pretty easy to do. You just got to get the radiator up and out of the way so you can have access to all those screws. Pop in a new diaphragm, cinch down the lock nut, and you should be ready to go and have your power brakes restored. This car is also getting a clutch cable. It's a manual clutch cable, not hydraulic, but a clutch cable, and those wear out. And it is also getting an oil change and something else. I forgot. But it's just a real blessing to have a car like this in the shop. You don't get to see these anymore. I mean, square headlights, chrome bumpers. It just exudes German engineering from the 80s and 70s, actually. Look at some of these details. You don't see that anymore. That old gas cap with looks like a windmill. These lights, tail lights, chrome bumpers. I think I mentioned that. Beauty rings on the 13-inch wheels. Original wheels. Pretty cool. Still has the package tray, rear window defroster, window trim with a chrome strip. Still has chrome strips or maybe an aluminum strip on the car. Pretty darn neat. I love my job. Love what I do. Love being able to help people out with their old cars. I don't think there's a lot of up and coming mechanics that do what I do. So it's pretty cool. All right. Well, once we get this thing all fixed up and the power brakes restored and the new clutch cable in, maybe we'll take it for a drive. It's a fun little car. It's a 4-speed with a 1500cc diesel engine. Not a clean diesel, but mind you, just a regular old diesel engine. You can smell it. You can smell it coming. All right, I think we're going to click off for today. Love working on these old cars. What is it again? That's right, it's an old Volkswagen. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next video.